Anybody else got anything on creating boundaries? Like how has it helped them and the effects of it? Anybody else got anything on I know a couple people joined a little bit later, but Christine, I see you was up here. We was previously talking about having investors in your business and how that's super important uh to establish your business as um in a structure to where you able to accept investors in the first place. Did you have anything that you wanted to speak on about that?
Good morning, everybody. So currently, I'm in the process of working to get my business in that position of being, as I say, lendable or bankable. And so it definitely is a process, and sometimes you don't think about it until you actually need it. But I don't have too much experience with it right now. I have spoke with someone, and I won't even say bankable. Sometimes you'll find that having lenders, or at least in my experience right now, that you'll find that having lenders that aren't a bank can sometimes be more beneficial because it also goes into that mentoring or other support that we've talked about in the past. But that would be about the only thing that I can say about having investors now. But like we said in networking, you won't, when we were talking about networking, you won't be able to get them if you're not putting yourself out there.
Definitely. And that makes you think about important thing is and it don't you don't gotta think. I know I used $1 million example earlier, but it don't gotta be a lot. You might only need $10,000, right? And it's probably still, you know what I'm saying, a lot, but it's like in the business world, it wouldn't be considered a lot to somebody who has it to invest. And going to those networking events like we talked about yesterday puts you in position to be able to offer that. And you got to remember, you're not asking for a loan whenever you get in those situations. You're asking to, well, really, you're telling them about an opportunity. You know what I'm saying? To make more money on the money that they got, right? You already have a business. You already doing X, Y, and Z. Um, and you have an opportunity to grow your business with the additional funding that they will get. That's basically how the stock market works. They offer shares of stock so people can buy them so that they can have more operating capital so that they can do more stuff in the business and then the stock grows, hopefully, right? That's like the basic premise. But people do this in the private world all the time. So yeah, want to be thinking about that, and I want that to be a huge point because like I said, we got to start growing our businesses to where we can employ other people and we can become multi-million-dollar companies, corporations, and we can give high-paying salaries to all of these people, that black people, that, well, anybody in general that's graduating from college, right? And we can hire the best of the best, and we can get ourselves out of the ownership because on another tip, we are one of the highly like heart disease, um, diabetes, high blood pressure, um, all of these things are the number one killers of us, right? Like those are just the facts. Um, and yes, a lot of that goes into what we eat as well, but another thing that goes into that is stress, right? And even if we could be making a great amount of money running business on our own, but we're gonna be super stressed out running a business on our own, especially if you up in the high six figures, because it's just a lot of stuff to manage and to think about. And you want to be able to, like I said, put yourself in position, hire people to take the load off your plate, so you don't have to stress so much. And you might not even think about it as stress. It's just like, oh, I got to do this, I got to do that. But at the end of the day, it's a lot that you have to think about over the course of a day, and that's stress, right? It's just you're not able to relax really because you're managing a lot. So just wanted to yeah, just touch on that. But anybody else got anything on either investor relations, how to manage investors if you ever use one or have one before, or anything on self development and creating boundaries for yourself and other people?
I'll also jump in on the boundaries. So I used to be the person, you know how they call that yes man. And that used to be me. Now not so much. But one of the things I will say, if there is anybody who hasn't started setting those boundaries, go ahead and prepare yourself for the words of, and somebody may have already said this, oh, you're being funny, you're changing, you acting different. Um, and even I experienced, I won't necessarily call it name calling, but sort of like when I started setting my boundaries, people used to tell me all the time, oh, you're mean, you're being mean. And I would ask, like legitimately, because I'm a very reflective person, I would ask, well, what am I doing that's mean? Nobody could ever respond to me, never answer me. And so I finally came to the realization it's not that I'm being mean, it's that y'all, because they were in my immediate circle, you aren't used to me setting that boundary. You aren't used to me speaking what needs to be spoke and then moving away from it. And so if you haven't gotten in that place, I would say go ahead and prepare yourself for that and don't feel bad about it because at the end of the day, they're going to circle back around if they're meant to be in your space. And if they're not, then that was just a leaf that fell off your branch or off your tree, and their season is over. The other thing I will say is just be mindful of for anybody who is givers. If you are just a given person, you are the person who take care of everybody. Just remember, and I've heard somebody else already say this, but just remember to take care of yourself. Because you can't pour from an empty cup. So whatever that may need to be, and it may feel bad at the moment to tell somebody no or nah, I can't do that, or that's not in my realm of what's okay. But at the end, you'll feel better because you won't be exhausted, you won't be stressed, you won't feel empty. So that would be the thing that I say about boundaries.
Definitely. Yeah, Tashina touched on that too. It's like sometimes you gotta understand that you gotta be selfish with yourself and with your energy. You know what I'm saying? So that's super definitely important. Anybody else had anything else to say about any of those topics?
I'm just gonna bounce off of what Christina was saying. One more time on the boundary situation. This before I got to the level of self awareness that I'm at, but just like noticing little things. So certain things you may not even like to do, but being around certain people for so long, you start picking up on certain things that they do or certain things that they say or the way they act. And so like I said, just setting those boundaries and like kind of getting away from those certain situations or I can't think of the words that I'm looking for, but anyways, just putting yourself in another environment sometimes, like I said, it'll help you grow and understand yourself more to where you like, why did I even say that? Or why was I even acting like that? Like, that's not even me, like I'm just doing that because of that situation that I'm in or that environment that I'm in. So pulling yourself out of the environment, setting yourself in, setting them boundaries, sometimes that, like I said, help you figure out who you are, what you like, and who you truly are as a person. But yeah, that's all I want to add.
Yeah, that's a fact, and it goes back into what we talked about as far as being mindful and mindfulness and just understanding yourself and really setting that space for you to, like you say, understand who you are and why you even do the things or say the things that you do. But yeah, so I'll just hop right into the Black History figure for today. And like I said, I always try to tie in the person with the verse. This person also ties into the business topic that we talked about today. He has a book. He has a biography about him. It's called "Why Should White Guys Have All the Fun." It's a great book, and it just talks about his rise to the top. And I'll just go ahead into it. This is Reginald F. Reginald F. Lewis. He is the first Black man to build $1 billion business using a strategy of corporate takeover and sale. So what that means is uh, he had a holding company. So he had a company that uh, holds other companies, right? Or one LLC or a company that buys other companies, right? So that company he was able to build to $1 billion business by buying other companies Taking people off the board, using different strategies that he thought were beneficial, uh, increasing the profit of those companies and then selling, right? So he was able to build a billion-dollar business that way. And he first started out as doing this as an attorney for other companies who were doing this, and he realized like no black person was doing this or like using this strategy to make money. So he was really the first one that kind of paved the way for what you might hear now called like venture capital funds or anything like that. So it's just something that is to be noted. Like I said, he has the book about him is great. Just how he was able to work. And then just, I got a little snippet here just so you can see a small part of the type of person that this dude is. So as after graduating from VCU with a degree in political science, he took part in the summer program at Harvard set up by the Rockefeller Foundation that introduced African Americans to the study of law. While there, he made such an impression that Harvard invited him to attend school that fall. At the time, this made him the only person in the 148-year history of Harvard Law School to be accepted before even applying. So, he first of all, like just the story behind that from reading the book, he was in a program. Well, he graduated from school, but before he graduated from school, he was already reaching out to people, and letting them know what he was trying to do. He was like going to people's offices in person, letting them know who he was, what he was doing, and then boom, God was able to get into the program. While he was in the program, he just set himself to outsmart everybody, be the best possible that he could be. And like I said, he was so nice with it on Harvard accepting him before he even applied to the school. Like he was already in there. So that's just a testament to how great this guy was. Unfortunately, he died um uh early, right? I think he died in like his 50s. I can't remember why. But this was in the 1960s, right? Or 1970s, 80s, why that's why he was building his company. But that just goes to show you like how great really you can be on all facets, you know what I'm saying, of your life and just different things you can do to make money. You don't even have to technically he ran a company, but his company was buying other companies. You know what I'm saying? Like he didn't. A lot of us, you know what I'm saying, we want to start, we are only taught to start businesses from scratch, but buying other businesses is an actual thing. And you can get a loan to buy a business just like you can get a loan to buy a house. Um, so it's just something to think about. And I just want to recognize him because he really paved the way for, like I said, a lot of people doing that now, venture capitalist firms, um, all of these funds that you have that are investing and buying businesses, they kind of started from him. So just want to say shout out to Reginald F. Lewis, and for him paving the way. Anybody have anything else?
Hey, PJ, I wanted to go back to the investors real quick. First of all, I've never heard of him, and I absolutely love him and stuff. I'm getting ready to go find his book.
Yeah.
But I wanted to speak on the going back to the investor piece. Um, we and I know you said it's not about loans, which is true, but whether it's loans or investments, we got to get. And when I say we, I mean Black people. We got to get out of this mind of, oh, I can't be in debt, because it'll hold back our businesses. Um, I like to use the phrase because I learned it. We using other people's money. So we all know the famous song OPP. So we're gonna use OPM, other people's money, to build our business and not be afraid of doing it because it'll help us grow and scale faster. But also if you don't have it and you're even using your own money to put in, and it again it's still other people's money. If you haven't looked into Ally Bank, I would definitely suggest looking into Ally Bank if you have something that you can kind of put into a pot and let it sit and grow, because their interest rate is amazing. But I just wanted to throw in that tidbit, like it's okay to use other people's money, and business debt, as long as you're using it to grow, is good debt. It is not bad debt.
Yeah, that's the only thing I was about to say. definitely make sure you know the difference between personal and business debt, because like you said, a lot of the richest people have outstanding amounts of business debt. You know what I'm saying? Especially in like my industry, real estate. It's just that's just what it is. It's the nature of the beast. But being able to manage that amount of debt and being able to make sure you have the means to pay for it back. Like I know a lot of people on social media nowadays preaching business credit cards, get a business credit card, buy a G Wagon, write it off. You know what I'm saying? But that money has to get paid back somehow. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna just be able to sit around and not do nothing and the money is free. You know what I'm saying? So business debt is great. Make sure that you're in a position to be able to steward it wisely, and you are doing something that will produce money that will be able to pay it back once you use it. Um, Definitely for a bank or a credit, but even more so if you get an investor. You don't want to burn no bridges because you took some money from somebody and you ain't been able to pay them back. Anybody have anything else on any of the topics today? Investors, self-develop, creating boundaries, or my boy Reginald F. Reggie F. All right, cool. Well, yeah, that'll wrap it up for today. Appreciate everybody. And we'll just have a great blessed Wednesday. I'll see y'all tomorrow, 7 a.m.